Hello and welcome to the weather report for November 11th, November 12th. And we're entering mid-November now. And you can see we've got nice clear skies out now. We did have a lot of clouds around earlier today. You could see we had a cumulus deck, and we also had a lot of cirrus around too, cirrus stratus. So a lot of filtered sunshine today. It didn't really clear out until later in the day. And what happened yesterday? Yesterday, we did have clear skies to start, but then we had a lot of cloud buildup later on in the afternoon, particularly over Long Island. So yesterday was a little warmer than today. Today was definitely a lot colder. It's pretty cold tonight. So this is what the sky looked like yesterday to begin. And then we had these big clouds build up right around noontime. A lot of these stratocumulus clouds, just moisture, I guess, that's trapped near the surface or whatever. The oaks are changing now. They're at peak. So this is the last chance for, this week's going to be the last chance for the fall colors. And I think by the next weekend, I think they're going to be gone. But anyway, we had a lot of clouds around today, but the skies tonight have cleared once again. We have starry skies tonight. So let's go look at our current conditions around outside. You see no advisories throughout the whole country, which is very interesting. Pretty much hardly anything. However, we are under a freeze warning tonight, and I'm sure we're going to go below freezing in Nassau County. It's going to definitely feels like the coldest night of the year for sure tonight. Temperatures right now are already below freezing in a lot of areas. So already at 28 degrees in Carl Place. It looks like 28 degrees in Carl Place. Farmingdale's reporting 34. Islip's reporting 30. West Hampton is reporting 30. And we have very calm winds tonight with dew points in the 20s. I think everybody's going to be in the 20s tonight. You can see how chilly it is. Yeah, even here in Mineola, it's pretty cold. 30 being reported at Islip right now with a dew point of 27. So there could be some frost. You can see the city is a lot warmer, though. Central Park is at 40. But I think even there could possibly drop below freezing. But yeah, a lot of areas are below freezing tonight, as you see. And we go into New Jersey here. And 27 in the Pine Barrens west of Toms River and Miller Air Park. So yeah, pretty chilly out there. Pretty chilly day today. We were only in the 40s all day. So we're going to go look at Islip for the past 3 days here, or 2 days or whatever. So you'll see today we were only in the 40s with a mix of clouds. Like I said, a high overcast. I wouldn't say a high overcast, but a filtered sunshine, generally speaking. And that kept the temperatures down. We were only in the mid-40s today. And the morning was pretty chilly again. It looks like that got down below freezing this morning as well. And yesterday wound up being warmer than today. We're in the mid-50s, which is near normal for this time of the year, with a lot of clouds around yesterday as well. So let's look at West Hampton here because I'm curious. We're going to put the lows on the map in a minute, but let's see what West Hampton got down to. Of course, their instruments are malfunctioning. So we're missing observations. That's nice. It looks like they did dip into the 20s last night, around 27 degrees. But then the temperature went back up again when the wind picked up. So it was calm winds, and then you can see the temperature went back up to 36. So that's what happens with radiational cooling. The temperature went back to 36 again. Let's go look at the observations for Toms River. Why not? Let's see how cold it got there. Because, radiational cooling is a very interesting phenomena that happens in the Pine Barrens. Doesn't look like it got as cold there as West Hampton. The winds never dropped off. Okay, so let's first talk about yesterday. All right, so let's go to yesterday's statistics. These are yesterday's statistics, and you could see yesterday we had highs generally in the mid-50s and upper 50s in New Jersey. The lows yesterday, Saturday morning, were West Hampton got below freezing as well Saturday morning. So you can see lows generally were in the 30s, 40s in the city. But again, the colder areas got below freezing. Pine Barrens in New Jersey as well got below freezing. So let's go back to the map here and talk about what our highs were today, because you can see today we were only in the mid to upper 40s today. Generally mid 40s. It was a very chilly day with the winds went a little more northerly, so it brought in some colder air. In addition to the cloud cover that we had kept the temperatures down. So yeah, highs generally only in the mid 40s, maybe some upper 40s, closer to 50s. You get down toward Atlantic City. Let's go to the lows. And you can see 27 was the low at West Hampton. 28 was the low at Shirley. 30 was the low at Islip. Farmingdale got to 34. So we got a little further west. You have some lows that were above freezing, but still Brookfield can get pretty cold. 29 there, and New Jersey as well, below freezing as well there in the Pine Barrens there. So let's go to the climate statistics page, and we'll go to that next. Whoops, the wrong button. Observed weather to Islip. Here we go. So 44 degrees, and it was the high today. So normal high is 55. That's 11 degrees below normal today for the high. The low of 30 was 9 degrees below normal. That puts us 10 degrees below normal for the day. And looking at yesterday at Islip, our high was 54, so we were pretty close to normal yesterday. It was only 1 degree below normal and 2 degrees below normal for the day at Islip. So, yeah, that's what it looks like. Pretty chilly out there. Pretty chilly air mass that we have overhead. But it would be nice if we had some clear skies. We're gonna research into that in this weather update. The good news is there's no rain in the forecast. Let's look at our weather map. You see high pressure is over us and keeping us dry. And let's go now to the models here, and we will first start with the upper airflow. Obviously, you see that dome of high pressure over us there. However, the center of the high is to the north, and that's, I think, part of the reason why we haven't been able to have clear skies. So let's go to the North American view, and we will look at the jet streams here. And you can see there's that dip in the jet stream that's bringing the colder air to the east. You can see there's a trough off the west coast. We're first looking at the GFS. You see we do see that dip move away, and we start seeing a ridge develop as we head toward later this week. That's going to bring warmer weather, much warmer weather for Friday, for another trough moves in for the weekend and brings in another return to some cooler air. And then looking at, you do see some troughs moving through the east, which is good to see. So, and this is all goes all the way to almost to the end of the month here. So we do see some troughing in the east, which means there will be periods of cooler weather. This is the GFS, so we'll go look at the European next. There are some differences here. European is got the not as strong with the ridge, and there's the trough right there. We have to watch for a storm forming along that cold front that moves through Friday night to early Saturday. We'll have to see what happens with that. But generally speaking, European is a little different and has more of a trough in the west versus the east here. So if we go and we compare this to the GFS, you see there's a little bit of a difference in the positioning of that trough and how deep it is. So the different models differ as we go further out. But for the next week or so, they're pretty similar. So let's go to the upper air on the GFS. You can see that ridge after that trough comes in. You see the ridge building, and then there's that trough again for next weekend. That'll bring a cool down, and then there's another trough here on Thursday, November 20th. This is the GFS showing right around Thanksgiving. Could be a cool down perhaps that week. Of course, that's ways away, and we all know the volatility in the models going that far out. So European. Not as deep. It definitely is not as deep with the trough on this week. That would be this weekend, right? This next weekend, yeah. So not as deep. It has a little bit of a different look to it. And you can see the European wants to have the troughing more in the west. So the European would tend to favor more above normal temperatures or less cooler weather than the GFS would definitely. And just to show you the difference here, you see the trough there is deeper on the GFS. And the Euro. Now, this is the trough around Thanksgiving. But again, there's volatility. If I go to the 12s, it's still there. Okay. So it seems like it is indicating some cool down around Thanksgiving. So I'll have to see what happens with that. That's what the GFS is indicating anyway. So we'll go to the CONUS view. We're not done yet. We're going to look at our temperatures. Actually, you know what? I'm going to keep it in the North American view. Let's keep it in the North American view. Temperature anomaly chart here, because there is still a lot of red on this map. So you can see tomorrow, you can see we're still below normal. You can see the above normal going all the way up into Canada still. So still a lot of above normal temperatures still And then we go above normal as we get toward the end of the week. And then as we head into the weekend, we have that cool down that might happen, now there's going to be a difference between this and the Euro, so I'll have to show. And you can see the next cold air outbreak. This is the cold air outbreak that would happen around Thanksgiving, perhaps. This is a ways away, but you can still see a lot of above normal temperatures up here in the north, which is not good. That's going to slow ice reformation. And we're going to talk about that in this video as well. So let's go to the European model. You'll see there'll be a difference. 12Z European. The Euro doesn't have us going below normal at all on the weekend. There's a little bit of it, but not as much as, it's not as pronounced as the GFS. You can see how it brings the cold air into the west there instead. So go a little closer on the CONUS view if you want. You can see here that this week we're definitely going to, after we start, we're going to be dealing with some above normal. Actually keeps us below normal Wednesday too a little bit. This is the European, and then it brings the above normal weather in for the end of the week. All right, GFS already puts us, all right, so we'll still be near normal through Wednesday, and then we start going above normal Thursday, and you can see all that warm air that's going to come into the area Thursday, and Friday especially, and then by the weekend we see a return to normalcy. So let's go look at the surface now. So here's the surface on the GFS. We first start with the surface, so you'll see high pressure will be with us all week long. Here's Tuesday. It almost looks like a reinforcing shot of cooler air comes in Tuesday. And then Wednesday, the high crests over us, and then it starts moving offshore Thursday. And that's going to allow for this cold front to approach here. And this would be where our next chance of rain is. And, yeah, it could be a soaker Friday night through Saturday morning with a lot of wind, too. It's forming a low along the front, basically, all right? It does get out of here for, Saturday morning could be wet, but it gets out of here for the rest of that Saturday. This is the 18Z GFS. We can look at the 12Z GFS. The European has a different opinion on this storm. And then you can see as we go toward the weekend, the high pressure will build in and bring us fair and cool weather again as we get into next weekend, the later part of next weekend. And then there's another storm system there. And you can see that looks like a pretty cold air mass coming down on Thanksgiving there on the GFS. Looking at the European, again, we'll go back to 12Z on the European model. Similar look here. All right, so high pressure stays with us but it's a little strong. All right, the European is a totally different look now. So the European at 12Z is now saying that this storm is going to stay offshore. And we're not going to see that much rain, and it won't be a soaker. So it's just interesting. Kind of hope the European is right because we don't want a soaker. But there's the 18Z. That's not going to go take us far enough out. So we can also look at the icon here. So that's not really going to, all right, 18Z icon. I don't know if that's going to take us far enough out to the weekend. I don't think it does either. Maybe the 12Z goes further out. So the icon is like the GFS, and the icon is giving us a soaker on Saturday all day long. So hopefully that's not right. So you can see the models don't agree on that storm, so we don't have a certainty yet. So, we already had 2 dry weekends, but I can't guarantee that next weekend is going to be dry, unfortunately. Not yet, anyway. So it's too soon for that. So let's go locally here and go to the HRRR. I mean, there's no precipitation to speak of that we're going to have to worry about. Looking at the HRRR, you can see we're going to be dry though it looks like it is trying to generate, actually. This is the cold front here, the secondary cold front that comes through. It is trying to generate something possibly tomorrow, a shower or two, a stray shower or sprinkle tomorrow night with this cold front. Other than that, that's it. You can see how the cold front comes through, and then the wind scope tighten up again to the northwest again. So looking at your dew points and wind flow, and you'll also be able to see this on the dew points and wind flow as well. So you can see dry air is in place. We start with light northerly winds tomorrow. They're going to turn to the southwest in the afternoon, and then to the west tomorrow night. And then winds, you can see how the wind goes to the northwest and tightens up again. All right, so there's your front. That's your reinforcing shot of dry air. You can see the dew points are pretty low, so there's not a lot. There's not going to be a lot of moisture with this. So here are your temperatures tonight. We're going into the 20s, I think, tonight. Everybody's going below freezing except the city. And then for tomorrow, the 20s definitely. So I think we'll have lows probably in the upper 20s probably in a lot of areas. But the Pine Barrens could be down to the low to mid 20s perhaps. You never know. Those Pine Barrens can always surprise you. It can get very cold there at night. Tomorrow, just a little bit warmer than today. Highs around 50 degrees. Upper 40s to around 50 on Long Island. More likely low 50s in New Jersey. And then as we go into tomorrow night, we'll have those clouds around. So tomorrow night won't be as cold, but we're still going to be in the mid to upper 30s, and it's going to be breezy. And then as we get into Tuesday, you can see how the temperatures really stagnate. Maybe we make it to the low 50s, but we're still going to be a little bit below normal on Tuesday. Now I want to take a look at some soundings because this kind of tells us about the cloud cover. We'll get into that in a little bit. So we're going to first start with the soundings for tomorrow around late morning hours here, and we'll look at the soundings, and you'll see these lines. They're a little close together, but we should be able to eke out some clear skies. But I think as we get later in the day and we see more of those that moisture move in, I think at let's get this to load here. Yeah, you can see there's going to be moisture around the 600 to 700 MB. So stratocumulus levels, we'll see some more of that stratocumulus thing developing later in the day tomorrow, I think. And then as we go into Tuesday, we're going to be dealing with the stratocumulus. So if we go into Tuesday here, we might, it might be, I don't know, we might not be able to, yeah, here we go. You can see there's moisture, a lot of moisture in the air. You can see you got some low-level moisture here, which is going to lead to a stratocumulus deck on a Tuesday again. The air is just not dry enough at those levels to give us clear skies. That was the problem we had on Saturday. So let's move this along to the GFS and, again, look at our temperatures and our wind flow. So you'll see here is your wind flow. It tightens up, gets breezy. You can see that on Tuesday. And then for Wednesday, we have light winds, again, becoming southwest. That high is going to be cresting over us, so we'll have fairly light winds. So it's still going to get chilly at night, I have a feeling, even though it's going to start warming up during the day. You can see the winds going more west-southwest on Thursday. And Friday, here comes the warmer air, south winds. Though if the wind is from the south, that'll tend to keep Long Island cooler. You can see an increase in moisture, and there's your storm. There's a lot of moisture with that storm, and you can see as it gets over those warm waters, it could pick up a lot of energy. It's just too early to tell what's going to happen with that. But either way, behind that storm Saturday, later Saturday, winds go northwest, and the cold air is back in. Here we are Sunday. So you can see that those lower dew points. So let's look at our temperatures here. Pretty much, you could see it's still going to get cold at night. Tomorrow, Tuesday night, temperatures are probably going to drop to near freezing again. And then for Wednesday, we're still going to be cool. You can see that reinforcing cold air keeps us around 50 degrees. So still a few degrees below normal. And then at night, we'll have to see how much it cools off depending on cloud cover and winds Wednesday night to Thursday morning. And then here we are Thursday. See, the temperatures have now bumped up to mid to upper 50s to near 60s. So we're going to start seeing the temperatures start going a few degrees above normal. Then for Friday, that's when we'll really start seeing it warm up. 60s for a lot of areas. New Jersey, mid to upper 60s possible. Long Island, probably low 60s. And then behind that front, here we are Saturday, much cooler, back into the upper 40s again. And then Sunday, you can see we're staying there, so 40s. So see that, and then just you can see how it stays in the 40s. So you can see you have a little bit of warm ups here, but then the fronts come through and they drop the temperatures down. And then Thanksgiving, yeah, that if around Thanksgiving we may have a day where highs are only going to be in the low 40s. So yeah, that's going to be the next shot of cold air possible. This is the GFS now. It's not showing up on the European yet. So let's go look at the skies here because that's going to be the variable that we're going to have here. So first starting off with the GFS, here we are tomorrow. Clear skies to start, and then you can see the clouds from the north trying to come in about later in the day. But I think tomorrow, hopefully, we'll have more sunshine. Now Tuesday, you can see we start off clear, but then we're going to have a lot of those stratocumulus clouds. Probably a lot of lake effect stuff. And then Wednesday, we might have to deal with some cirrus around, and then Thursday, we might have to deal with some cirrus around. So it's as far as getting a clear day goes, tomorrow may be the best bet of a clear day, it looks like. And then we're going to deal with plenty of clouds again. Then we'll have to wait for later Saturday into Sunday to clear out again. So unfortunately, like I said, we have this instability situation for Tuesday here, and this is going to be mostly lower clouds. I can hit the sounding; it'll show us that. Now for Wednesday, it's going to be an issue with more higher level clouds. So I can hit the sounding for Wednesday. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, you can see the moisture is up at the cirrus levels. So that's what we're going to be dealing with Wednesday. Again, just can't get clear skies to build in over us for even though you can click the forecast, it'll say sunny every day. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be sunny. Here's Thursday, and it's still showing that cirrus around. So that's what the GFS is showing anyway. So we'll have to watch for that. I was hoping we'd have a bunch of clear days, and then we may only get one clear day. It's so hard to get clear days. There's just so much moisture around, and this is all due to climate change. We have more moisture in the atmosphere, so more clouds than we should have. Usually when you have a cold front come through, you usually have clear skies or mostly sunny skies. Maybe a few patchy stratocumulus clouds, but it's never. Now we just get these decks forming because there's just more moisture in the air because of the warmer oceans and warmer Great Lakes and stuff. That's one thing you're not going to hear about. You go to the weather service and you click the weather forecast, and it's misleading. You click it and it has sunshine every day, mostly sunny every day, but it's not mostly sunny. You have a lot of clouds around. That's not what I call mostly sunny. All right, mostly sunny is when you have a nice blue sky and maybe just a few clouds. I don't know why the weather service downplays it, but that's why I do these weather reports, even though I don't do them as much as I, used to. It's still important because I still feel that, a lot of it's just left out. So let's go to the other model here, the RGEM, and we'll go to the 18Z here. So here we go on the 18Z, and you can see tomorrow it's showing mostly clear skies, but you can see these clouds come in later on. It almost looks like those are cirrus clouds, but I don't think they are. I think they're. Let's see. Oh, this isn't going to tell us the cloud height. We've already looked at the soundings. I think it's mostly lower level clouds like stratocumulus. So I'll start off clear, and then we'll have those clouds come in. Now Tuesday, you can see what's going to happen Tuesday. We're going to have those stratocumulus clouds again. Maybe less of an issue with them in New Jersey, perhaps. And then for Wednesday, here comes the cirrus. So, and this is only going to go out to 06 Thursday. Maybe Thursday we can get rid of the cirrus. But other than that, that's pretty much what it looks like right now with the skies. So, lastly, do the Climate Prediction Center. Actually, this isn't the last thing I'll do. One more thing I'm going to do here. 6 to 10 day outlook. You can see they have us above normal. Actually, that's the 8 to 14 day. Let's start with the 6 to 10 day. We can put it in the large if you want. Yeah, we can do that. You can see above normal in the east. So much of the country is above normal. There isn't really anyone there that's below normal. It's a little bit the southwest and a little bit of Alaska there. But everybody is above normal, particularly the northern plains and Florida. We're in the above normal into 6 to 10 day as well. I didn't mean to close that. All right. Got to hit back. All right. Normally I display it like this. Looking at your precipitation, much of the country on the 6 to 14 day is above normal for precipitation. Most likely above normal in North Texas and Oklahoma area. You can see there for precipitation. So, according to that, more rainy days again are coming. Right now, it's been actually kind of dry. Though, again, the strongest chances of being rainier than normal in the mid-section of the country. We're just in the slight. You can see the 8 to 14 day. It looks like they're looking like they're believing the euro and saying below normal in the northwest, and the northwest Montana area, and above normal in the east. So it looks like they're trying to go with the European, and they don't think that plunge is going to happen. That's that 8 to 14 day would be the week of Thanksgiving. So they don't seem to think that cold air is coming yet, at least. So. I'm hoping they're wrong because you don't want it cold around Thanksgiving. You don't want it warm. It's it is. We're still running above normal by and large, but that's the way it is with the climate change. It's only going to be warmer than normal. It's going to be warmer than normal, much more than colder than normal. That's when you average it all out. That's what's going to happen. So let's just do the ice thing because we haven't done that in a while. So it says the long Arctic winter sets in. Sea ice extent has increased at a faster than average pace. Okay, so that's good. By the end of October, the ice cover has reached the Siberian coast, while open water has persisted along the coast of Beaufort and Truckee seas. And so it looks like we're at least not at we're rebounding now, but we're still seeing areas of North America being above normal. At least North America is probably colder on the other side of the globe. Which if you want to go to the northern hemisphere. I have to go to the GFS for this, but if you want to look at the northern hemisphere and look at our temperature anomaly chart here, let's see. We're showing a lot of above normal temperatures though in Russia too as well. So it's showing some cold around Greenland here. So kind of looking at where the cold air is. Yeah, there is. It's eastern Russia. That's where you see the colder air. But still, you see a lot more red than blue, which is, disturbing, but not surprising. So that's going to wrap up this weather report. And I'll have some brief weather videos for you this week. I don't know what days. Won't be every day, but we'll probably have one tomorrow because we're going to have to talk about the cold weather and maybe Tuesday, or Wednesday or something like that. So I'll have one tomorrow, one in the middle of the week, and then one toward the weekend. But anyway, that's going to do it for this video, so have a good night.